we dive into the reality of what it actually takes to go after a dream. All of the sweat, all of the tears, all of the sacrifice. And at the end of the day, it isn't easy, but is it worth it?
Do you have a dream? What did you give up? Who did you let go? How much did you sacrifice? All for the dream. Hey everybody, thank you for joining me on All for the Dream. I am your host, Nakesha Rice, and today we have the one and only comedian Carlos Big Los Massey.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
I'm good. Can you go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about you?
Well, my name is Carlos Massey, aka Big Los, and it's pronounced Big Los, not Big Loss. Come on, people. We'll get into that later. But anyway, comedian Big Los, playwright, actor, motivational speaker. Just a little bit about myself, but y'all hear a bit more about that. But happy to be here, man. I'm excited for you, man. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for joining me. I do appreciate it. So, let's go ahead and get into the question. So, when did you know that comedy was your thing?
I think comedy probably was my thing. Like when I got my first whipping in church, because I asked the wrong question one day, and I got laughs from my friends, but my mama didn't think it was too cute. Because I asked a simple question with that. You know, I'm a very, like, you can't just put something in front of me and expect me to believe it. So we're in Vacation Bible School. Y'all know the Vacation Bible School with the cookies and the recess. Anyway, I was sitting there one day and we was doing Vacation Bible School and we was learning books of the Bible. And then I asked one question. I said, I have a question. I said, so when Mary got pregnant by God, so that made Joseph a baby daddy or a stepdaddy? Everybody laughed. I didn't, because they wasn't married.
Yeah.
I said, so, I'm like Jesus, because my dad ain't around either. So my mom didn't find that funny, but everybody else laughed. So, and just growing up doing plays and being in front of people, I just, I always been a class clown. I didn't take school too serious. Just always want to laugh, and somehow that's how I cope with my pain, through laughter. Because you learn how to laugh at yourself, because as you say, I grew up, kind of a, not normal size kid. So I was a butt of a lot of jokes. And I've heard every big joke there is, but what I had to learn, I say, look, either I'm going to be insulted at everything, I'm going to learn how to get back on people. So, when people insult people, we call it shooting the dozens back in the day. And I went for the throat. So you might call me fat. But then I might say, well, you got two daddies sleeping together. So a lot of that stuff didn't go well, or your mama got a mustache, or, you know what I'm saying? So that kind of stuff kind of taught me growing up in the hood. Kids are ruthless. And so I always wanted to just learn how to laugh, and you had to back in the day just to get through a lot of stuff.
So what was your experience on your first ever comedy show? Man,
my first comedy show, I bombed. Because, you get excited, man, I'm going to go over here. It was at, I don't know if y'all remember J.P. Luna's in Greensboro. They had a little open mic night. I was raw and I was just excited. I was just full of energy. I'm going to go out there, man, I'm going to become the next one. Go out there and hit them. And I didn't understand what standing up and knowing your material, knowing your honesty. So I went into a bar with people drinking, telling church jokes. Oh. Man, it was like crickets. They was like, one dude walked in front of me doing a set. I didn't know what was going on, but I learned so much from that night. Say, okay, you got to know your audience. You got to know who you're talking to, because, man, that was pretty bad.
So doing that, like, if you have like a bad show and you like get down on yourself, did you ever at that moment be like, maybe I don't need to do this?
Yeah, I think I said it to myself every time, because you get nervous, and because stand-up is one of the most original forms of immediate, if it's gonna be good or if it's not, and it's just you and the mic. Singers have drums, they have background singers. If you have a choir or if you're a DJ, if you're a comedian, true comedian, not these little I'm gonna put up on Instagram 2 or 3 minutes. I'm talking about getting in front of the mic with people and they expect you to laugh. That energy, you gotta say, if I can do it. And so I just started studying. I got into the craft more. I got into studying the greats, and not the material, just how they embrace the stage. I studied public speaking, and how setting up a joke, and also I studied the bad ones, because you got to see, man, I've studied some bad ones where sometimes you go a wrong way with a joke. So I really just I call it going to college for stand up, because I just put through myself a lot of late nights is up watching videos, man. Just the great ones, man. Seeing how they going out with Joe. I studied a lot of Bill Cosby. I know we can't say that now, you know. But anyway, Bill Cosby, Sinbad, those kind of comedians back. Richard Pryor, Red Fox. They used to really tell stories, and the punchline would come out of nowhere. So I studied a lot of them. They kind of like, okay, this is how you do it. So a lot of stuff. So and just learning that every set's not gonna be a good one. Every crowd's not gonna be the same. You're not gonna always, you know, because doing stand up, man, you think you got this is my killer joke, and they might not laugh at that, but they laugh at something else. Yeah. And you can't lose your composure.
Yeah, I agree. Because even doing poetry, I would look at my crowd. Like, if I'm in an all white room versus, it'd be like, ooh, I better not do this one. You know, let me do a different one. But you know, sometimes they respond to those, and you get more from that crowd than the other. Man, so it's weird.
When I tell you, learning comedy and I tell any comedian, do it in front of a different crowd, because, you know, we get used to, you know, we can do it in front of us. But you want to check yourself, really, comedians, do it in front of people who don't look like you. So white comedians, go in front of black people, see, and that really lets you know. I got booked to go to West Virginia one time.
That's Marvin.
Yeah. But, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, the check was right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They paid me full. I like that. You paid me full. So, got up there. You know, I kind of like sometimes do the research on the venue or whatever. But the guy that hit me up and booked me, you know, I could see he sounded like a brother. So, you know, I was like, cool, okay, we're cool. I ain't do that. Got up there, y'all. When I tell y'all, that's the whitest town I ever been in. But the people was nice. When they know who, of course they knew who it was. I was a black guy. They had a room set up for me, had snacks, treated me. Everybody after that show walked up to me and shook my hand. Everybody in that show walked up to me and shook my hand. And from that moment, I said, I can't prejudge people.
Yep.
I can't sit there and say, man, oh, man. And you know, you go black shows, comedy show, they gone.
Yeah.
All right, man, we'll holler at you. We ain't got time to take no pictures, gone. Everybody in that show walked up to me, shook my hand. And that show, man, I was like, look, this thing, you can take it serious. You can bend a lot of bridges. And I told myself, like, you know, I can't be off nervous because you're white, I'm black. And they laughed. I was like, okay, cool, we're going to have a good time. But, you know, comedy is really showed me so much that you can do and mend the hearts of people, good and bad. So.
And you do clean comedy.
Yes.
So has anybody ever made you feel bad about that or hating on you?
Man, let me tell you something. We used to be the butt of every joke when we first started doing clean comedy around his area. Oh, them the clean boys over there, ha ha. So we was gonna support everybody. We was gonna support, hey, they do clean comedy, y'all. They don't do no cussing. Oh, they ain't funny. That's the stigma, you know. And we used to go play try, man, can I get 5 minutes? Nah, man, you know, you don't cuss or nothing, man. Oh man, I don't know, they might not like it. Funny is funny.
Yeah, that's
Until, you know, I actually had some people who actually gave me some spots on their stuff to actually go do some stuff. And so once they saw it, they was like, man, he was funny, you know what I mean? He ain't even cuss. I said, well, yeah, I don't cuss, you know, a lot, so I don't cuss my stuff. But yeah, when people see clean, they just think it's not gonna be funny. And so they, you know, oh man, but when we start doing the shows and stuff and people start coming out, they was like, man, this stuff is, cause you could be, it's whatever you want to do with people. But I just, that's just my lane. But funny is funny. Like I support people who do other comedy and some stuff is funny. You know what I'm saying? But I would get caught in the whole world. I just created to do my lane. So.
And so, I know you say you getting paid and things, and you do a lot of churches. So, have you ever like been gypped, but your money or they try not to give you money? Excuses.
Let me tell y'all something. Yes, it got so bad. I actually did a diss song a couple years ago. Actually, this song a couple years ago. Me and RL did. I said, man, RL, I gotta say something about this, bro. I'm tired. He's like, man, let's just write something, bro. Actually, man. the title song is called "How You Like." Wait a minute. It's "Who's Laughing Now," and basically it's a track that's going out to all people who dissed us back in the day, especially clean comedians. And because I started in church, so you would think when you hear church and church folks, oh man, they're gonna look out for you because they're holy and they love God and they can always make sure your money right. I'll tell y'all something. I had to start doing contracts and fooling with church folks because you know what I'm saying. I'm you know the way it works. You know people book you and you know say, hey man, what Carlos say my first time. Hey man, come over here, man. We're gonna give you $150. We're gonna feed you. Okay, cool, man. Bless God. And I call it get that. Come let me holler at your speech. So after the show, man, Pac-Man, boom, everything, boom. You know it's bad. I'm gonna tell y'all something. You starting there, entertainment, whatever. When you sitting there waiting and the janitor out there waiting with you, you ain't getting paid. If you sitting there waiting, everybody gone, they start cutting off half the lights, and the janitor walking by you like, hey man, what's up? I'm like, man, I'm just waiting. You ain't getting paid. I call that to come let me holler at you. So from that moment, man, just learning business is business, friends is friends, and church is church. Make sure you get whatever you're gonna do on paper. That's not being disrespectful. That's just, you know, if they say you're gonna pay you something, hey, make sure they're on it because you showed up, gave them a service, they should pay you for it. And I look, I appreciate prayers. I appreciate you praying for my family. I appreciate all the compliments, but I can't put nothing in my gas tank. My son don't eat prayers. So I know what you're gonna say. Well, yeah, I left the house with my gas light on. Praying for me ain't gonna get me home. And I got a wife. They say, hey, if you leave here, you need to bring something back. And that's, you know, I have a family. So, you know, she used to get mad. Man, I'm going to tell you, the first 5 years of me doing this stuff, it was straight on us. Because you just getting your feet wet. I'm just going to open mics, and I'm going out there trying to grind. She was like, baby, I feel you, baby, but when you going to bring something back home? Yeah. Well, baby, you know, I'm you know. Then I said, well, baby, they ain't pay me. They ain't pay you. They said they was going to pay you. And that's the worst thing to tell your wife, fellas. If you ain't got no money, coming home when you went. So I had to learn.
Yeah, because a lot of people like, you get exposure. You know, my mortgage causes 830 exposures. Yeah.
Hey, when they say exposure, that means you ain't getting paid.
Exactly.
Or you doing it for the kingdom, that means you ain't getting paid. Or if they do it, hey, man of God, once you bless us with your ministry, man, God's going to do something with your life. Man, I can see him. Hey, hey, when you finish speaking in tongues, I'm going to cut that check, please. Because I had a guy, man, he was, at the end of the day, we had a comedy show. This dude got spiritual in the office. Like, man, I just feel it. You did good. And I was sitting there like this. Oh, yeah, you want your check? Yeah, man, I got to go, man. So, you know, I'm being funny about being serious. Yeah. Look, when y'all book people over there, because like when you go to Walmart, they don't let you leave. They don't let you leave without paying for your groceries. Yeah, that's true. Do Power gonna say, "Oh man, you know what? Thank you for that prayer. We didn't cut your lights off." Do Power will cut your lights off in the name of God. So I mean, that's just because that's the way I do people. You know, whatever I do, I try to make sure I honor my word. You know, because and while I'm learning this business, there are a lot of people who I call it spiritual hustlers. They'll hustle you in the spirit. If you don't know God for yourself, you're not really centered. I grew up in church. You can't hustle me with no scripture, none of that. All that's falling, you know, and I respect it. But at the end of the day, you know, business is business. So. You know,
all right. So we're gonna switch it up. So you do comedy and you do acting. So which one do you prefer?
This is gonna throw a lot of people. I actually love acting. Yeah. I love acting. I started out acting. I just love getting into a script and becoming someone else. And early on, they used to let me cuss and stuff. So I used to love getting the roles where I could be a bad guy. So I can one role, and it was with Robin Stevens, and I had to be a bad guy. And it came up and said some cuss word. I said, "Can I add something?" She like, "Yeah." She had to say, "Cut, cut, cut, cut." I didn't mean to add that many. But I just love acting. I love becoming a character. I love just, you know, getting up there. I've always done it, you know, from being a kid in church with all the plays. And I just always loved doing it. And I always used to have a chip on my shoulder because, you know, being a guy like myself, people thought I could only play sports and, you know, you're not intelligent and stuff like that. I proved a lot of people wrong because a lot of people, man, you know how people give you sideways compliment. Man, you're intelligent for a big guy. What did you expect? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like saying you cute for a big dude. I'm just cute. I don't know the big dude part. But people try to insult you like that, you know, on the slide, and that just made me upset. So I love, like I've done Junior C's before. Oh, okay. You know, I've done it. I've been that trained. So I just love acting, man, and you know, just from growing up in the church. Now I did have a bitter situation in church. I always wanted to play Jesus, but
I'm sorry, I'll have to look in the camera on that one.
but because they said I didn't fit the color structure of what the word said, they let the little light skinned dude that looked like Chico the Barge playing. He wasn't even that good. So that just from that moment I said I'm gonna prove people wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I hate the stereotype. So I love comedy is that's more personal, but acting, man, just to get into a role, get a script, and get you some good people to act with and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I've been trained and just I love that, especially live theater or now I'm getting into film, realizing there's two different things. Now that's training to go from stage, because stage you're taught to project. Film you taught, hey, just cool it down. You know what I'm saying? So learning how the difference is just so powerful, man. So
Yep. And so you wrote the award-winning stage play, Her Story.
Her Story, His Truth.
Yes. See, we rocking our shirts. So what inspired you to write that play?
Man, being bored at work one day. I was at work, sitting around, and I was like, man, I just started writing a story about a situation in college. So it started the party scene. It started with that's a real scene to where we had a party at our house, and my man's girlfriend came over. She couldn't find him. And the party was jumping too. We was bumping. We was lit. Man, everybody was bumping. And his girl was very possessive. He had went off with another chick, couldn't find. So she shut the whole party down. Cut the music off. So we like, yo. So I just started writing that situation from there, and just it was all over the place, and everything had happened. And just every day I started writing bits and pieces, and I was like, babe, I think I just wrote a play. And she's like, what? So I brought it home. It's like all on big paper, notebook paper, napkins. I'm like, but I don't know what to do with it. So I sat on it for a while, showed it to a friend of mine. So she kind of helped me organize it. I let somebody read it, and they was like, why you holding on to this? I'm like, I just wrote a story. She was like, the angle you took was different because you made the mama the bad guy. Like, nobody else makes mama the bad guy. Mama's always untouchable. I said, well, that's my perspective. And so just writing it and just going back and changing it, and then my life had changed. And but here's the crazy part about that play. The first time we did it, when Anthony was the brother, I named him Anthony before I even met my brother, whose name is Anthony.
Oh, wow.
His middle name is Anthony. That's I mean, when I tell you it's crazy, it is crazy, because my brother I met later on down the road, his middle name is Anthony. So just sitting back and just dealing with a lot of stuff. And as you know, we didn't change the ending. We got 3 different endings to this play. It's just like I said, it was just my time to really put together. I've worked with so many different great playwrights and done so many plays. Some good, some bad. But anyway, but I learned so much. So that's why I took my time to choose the people who I wanted, because I know people who are solid, people who I can see in the role, and I love live theater. Didn't realize it would be a lot of work, because I'm cool. I can do this, man. To do this, we cool. I was running like that first one. I was done in and out. I was thinking like, geez. But,
I know the feeling.
But I learned so much from it. I enjoyed it. And thank you so much. If y'all don't know, she started. This is Maya, y'all. This is Maya that she started my play. And like I said, I had so much fun with it because y'all made it easy, because I always say it was a team effort. So we worked together. People were supportive. And I brought so many people from different angles. And it was just good just to see y'all go out there and do it, man. It was awesome, man. It was awesome. So, and I have to interject and say this. We had a situation last time I went to play. If you've seen the play, if you come to a play, if that's any play you've seen before, whatever, that's cool. If you've seen somebody play, don't sit in the audience, tell the story. We had a situation, I'm not going to call no names who it is, because we ain't going to do it on the show. No. But Miss Annette Houston, you see it, and I love you to death. But don't be in the stands telling the play. Now, going forward, we're prepared for this. let it happen again. We're gonna change the whole thing around. That's how I feel about it. I don't care. Oh, sorry about the
No,
but don't be telling. That's like going to movies and telling the end of Us. Don't do it. I mean, and I love her to death. I already had a conversation with her, so she know if not, she be mad. Hey, get over it. But don't tell. Even if you saw it, let people find out, man, because you're taking away the wow factor.
Yep.
And I'm gonna tell you, because at the end, I was like, why more people didn't react?
Yeah.
When you came out. And so I was sitting there thinking,
I
was sitting there like, no, that's it's gonna change again. In my mind, I'm sitting here like, you prepare for something.
Yeah.
You're like, this is gonna be like telling a joke. This is a punchline. Okay, a lot of people do that. So when I got home and we all of a sudden then somebody told me, I was like, but anyway, that was my own people, Pray for me, God know my heart. But
we praying. But I do know that it took you several years to put the play out. Was it a fear? Were you scared? Were you worried about what other people were gonna say?
Yes.
What took you so long? And how many years did you say?
It was 10.
10 years.
I wrote this play 10 years ago. Put it up, fear, not thinking it was gonna measure up to a lot of other playwrights. And you try to gauge other people's stuff and what people are gonna think, and then people say, well, you can't write a play, you're only a comedian, or you only this. And I always encourage people, man, don't put limits on yourself. You can be whatever you want to be. As long as you do the work, do the research. And I just really started getting it, because I put it away. We moved a couple times, went through stuff. I lost it. My wife found it. She's like, when you gonna do this? Man, I ain't doing it. She was like, look, you're not gonna rest till you do it. So I'm gonna do it, put it up. Just really putting it off and just really believing myself. And just like, man, the story, I said, it ain't gonna work until it just really clicked. Said, look, just do it. My wife's like, look, you gonna do it. Cause she was like, look, I'm tired of you sitting here talking about it. She said, just do it. Just get with some people. And she really helped, because she bugged me every day. So who you gonna get to play? So who you gonna do this? So, and her, wives can be very encouraging in their own way. And we really appreciate y'all. But she kept asking me about it, and that kind of just pushed me to go in and do it. And I started letting people that I trust read it. So when people start reading it, got the feedback, it's like, yo, man, let's do this, man. Man, because I let like different playwrights read it. And they was like, bruh, let's do this. And so that kind of got me hyped, and I just said, okay, let's go forward, and just start talking to people I knew. So how do you do this? And what's the structure of this? How do you get this together? Because I'm a person, I learn from other people. People say, I love to sit and just soak up and not afraid to ask. A lot of times we're afraid to ask, and man, I didn't. I said, well, what do you do and do this? And so we just got together and start reaching out to different people, and everybody came on. Had to make a couple changes to the cast, and people told us, that's gonna happen. Yeah. You don't be afraid to fire people. And I wasn't. God bless them, but everything worked out the way it should.
Yep. I'm a victim of that too, because I did your play, because I was putting my play out. I was like, oh, his play is so good. Like, is my play gonna, I was comparing my play to your play, but it's two totally different stories and things, but it's still, but I did learn from you. I was like, all the marketing things that you did, and I know I asked you who was your flyer guy, but you had no issues with giving me information. So, we always gotta help each other out. I mean, when other people encourage you, that's always like, you got to keep those people around you.
You do. It meant so much, man, because the same way I always look at it, when people help me, I do it. And that's what I always say with the cast. And that cast is so supportive of each other outside of the play. And which I love that. I don't know if it happened by chance or by purpose, but everybody had something they were doing. People were supportive, people would push it. And that shows, man, we can do so much, man. We just support each other. All the egos, and I don't want nobody, I'm over here in this little circle. Man, we just support each other. So much has came out of, and I didn't even do this it's so much has came out of us, and it's not because of me, it's just the spirit that's around us, and I'm just a giving person. And just like what you said, man, the reason why I chose y'all, because y'all have helped me over the years. Y'all probably didn't know it, but a lot of y'all was auditioning for it, because I worked with y'all, I've seen what y'all do, I've seen y'all, positive energy. Because I didn't want nobody in my play with drama.
Yeah.
No drama, Because I've been in places where there's been drama, where there's been infighting, where there's been baby mama showing up to rehearsal, shutting the rehearsal down. I didn't want none of that. So I handpicked my people. I knew they'd be dedicated, who were professional, and it just like I said, it just came out, and God bless.
I know, because all of us girls, we going on a cruise.
I mean, it's beautiful, man, just to see all y'all, and a lot of y'all do really know each other in the beginning, but just that bond, man, and that going forward, whatever, anybody got projects or doing stuff, and you know what I'm saying, just people have been just like James Lyon, man. James Lyon has been such a help to me, because behind the scenes, the little stuff, the little pep talks he give me about production, just, he's creative. Just to see his little add on the stuff, and when Robin was in it before she moved, she was my, she helped me structure, because I had First Lady doing Obama speeches. In the beginning, she was like, nobody's gonna sit here and listen to her for 15 minutes. I'm like, she got a lot to say. She's like, it's gonna have to be a conversation. You got to have somebody else in the room with her. So just listening to that and just putting that together and adding this and taking it out. So I learned a lot.
And how is it to because to have the support, you have the support of your wife and your family? How does that feel to you?
It feels good. You know what I'm saying? Because anything like I said, we started as something doing, and if it's your own, especially when it comes to family, they want to, they support it to a certain point, but and say, okay, is it what's fun gonna start coming in? Because with a lot of stuff going out, ain't not coming in. Hey, we need to talk. Come here. What's this going on? But once I've been doing so much, and now finally I had a chance to do my own. So that's what was exciting to her, because finally we get to do it our way, and and just support from her. That meant a lot to me, because I grew up an only child, so the family thing is cool. I have family, but just support from her, because she's seen me go through the stuff. She's seen me coming home, and she's seen me, the ups and downs of this industry. To where stuff you think is gonna work out, it don't work out. You start doing this, they cancel this, and you thought you didn't get paid this, and the show get, what I'm saying? She's seen that, so now to see me to this point, and still the thing with us doing a lot of stuff still going on, and still pushing past that, just to have her there to kind of encourage me, to check me, to make, because one thing I know about her, she pays into detail. That's why I let her handle the funds. Because she will make sure every penny was supposed to be. She said, okay, tell me what you want me to do. And whatever I tell her, she can be like, okay, who owe this? Who, you know what I'm saying? So she always kept me, because I'm always going and, we'll call it, you got to do this on this day. So it meant a lot.
So what was the hardest part about producing the play for you?
The hardest part is trusting other people. Trusting other people. Because if I had it my way, I would have did everything. Because I'm the type of person. I would have directed, I would have staged, I would have did the lights, I would have took the tickets, I would have did concession, I would everything. I would because I can depend on me. But to delegate that stuff, it's the hardest thing for you to do, because it's like, hey, they just to believe in what you have, and believe that people gonna do what they're supposed to do. That's the hardest thing. My wife said, you have to put people in place. You got to, because I got my wife nerves. And she was like, look, don't ask me about this. I got this part. You do what you need to do. That's all. The first time I did the lights, I did the sound. I was the director. I'll never do that again. Because I was over there at the booth about to pass it. Then people come and talk to me. Man, Los is good, bro. Hey, man, I done missed the cue, bro. Be quiet. So, that first, it was good. But learning now, I would say I had to have somebody in place just to delegate, because you try to do the lights and the sound. And I remember I missed the doorbell. And Teronza was like, oh, it sounds like somebody left the door. I was like, I'm sorry. I was trying to do too much stuff, so that's hilarious when I say it. But it's good to have people who will, can adjust to it. Okay, I don't hear a doorbell. Let me go to the door. Because you have, what I'm saying? That's why y'all were just professional, did y'all thing, added the stuff didn't go around, y'all didn't freak out. We just going, what I'm saying? So that was good.
And then this is probably one of the last questions. But you directed. How did you feel about directing for the first time?
Man, let me tell y'all something. I was nervous because I was like, will they listen to me? Will they get it? And because when I see stuff, I'm like, okay, here's how, you know what I'm saying? Just, and that caused me to go back to studying directing, asking questions, talking to some directors, going online. It's just like, how do you direct? How do you communicate? How do you, do stuff? So nervous, but trusting people to say, here's what I want. Let's see how it works. And then being vulnerable enough to say, okay, if it doesn't work, let's try something different. Because I know some directors, if they want it this way, that's the only way they're going to shoot it. Oh, that's the only way they're going to do it, even if it looks stupid. Nah, I want you to stand up upside down on your head. Yes, I know it looks silly, but just learning to say, okay, in my mind, this is how I want it. But on stage, it comes out different. So that's why I kind of took y'all input, how y'all did stuff, and said, wow, okay. Man, that's okay. That's because the idea, at the end of it, 2 red dresses.
Yeah.
That came from James. Because I had something totally else in mind. He said, man, what'd you think if boom, boom, boom? But I said, yo, that's dope. And it added something to it that I never would have thought, because now people think 2 red dresses. They gonna remember the 2 red dresses. So that worked out. Just learning to direct everybody's, getting strong people, people that can take, because just how I looked at it, how I used to be on set, how I wanted the director to direct me. Sometimes certain scenes you want a certain way, but certain was just like James' character. I gave him a frame. I said, this is what I want you to do. Go do it. He the only one I kind of just let him create himself with James, but I wanted that character to be way more than I can even think of. Here's how I want you to be with this. You create whatever you want to say, as long as you do it within that frame. So it worked out.
Yeah. So this is a question I ask everybody.
Okay.
So have you ever thought about giving up, and how do you get over those thoughts?
Man, this was recent. Because after production, everything slows down.
Yep.
The hype is gone.
Yep.
Nobody clicking the likes on the pictures no more. No product is moving. Nothing. So you sitting there.
You feel empty.
And I post on a lot of comedy shows. So I'm just sitting in the house and I'm starting to see everybody else popping. Pop, 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 pop. I'm saying like, man, what's going on? And you go through this after a show, but then you sit here like, dang, when you said hey to each other, because life happens after that. And so I'm just sitting here like, man, maybe. And so when we had these plans, they fell through. So of course you can't let that stuff soak to your mind. You gotta be like, okay, just keep. All right, what's the next thing? Just start working on the next stuff. So just being encouraging myself, and what I start doing, just encouraging other people that's doing stuff. Man, okay, sharing their stuff. And that's what I learned. Once I started encouraging other people, being excited for them, it got me excited because I had my time. We did all the things. But that's the hardest feeling, man. You feel it. You sit here like, man, no one else.
You like twiddling your thumbs, like.
And it's the chemistry, and you miss it, and then you start because it feel like, and you forget that you was popping for 3 months, 3 or 4 months. You were popping. It was you could boom, 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 boom. You forget that because what happened? Your timeline slow down. It's like, man, I ain't got nothing to post. I ain't got nothing to promote. Because I'm a promoter. I'm pushing. I ain't got no flyer to make. So you kind of get down. It's like, man, but you have to say, okay, boom, it's just my downtime because it's in spell. You can't. It's in spell. So what I use that for is rest. Maybe think about some. That's why I kept changing it because I said, oh man, let's see what I do. But you just use that as downtime, rest, chill out. Because once you're in rehearsal show mode, you're going, and you don't realize how tired you are until after. But yeah, that's, man, it's when you get that, because when stuff slow down and you ain't getting gigs and you're just sitting at the house and you looking at, man, this person's got this role. Oh, this person doing this. Man, this person doing this. ooh, this person just got booked on a tour.
Yeah.
They ain't even that funny. Wow. Oh, this person doing this. They can't act. This person doing this. But that's why, for a minute, I took a break from social media. Because I got tired of seeing it. And, you know, and not to hate on other people, but it's just like, they going on a tour?
Yep.
They ain't even that funny. They do too. And not to knock anybody. Your hustle is your hustle. But you look at yourself, be like, what's wrong with me? Ain't nobody calling me to be on tour. I'm funny. Yep. They do it. They can't act. You know, but you got to get out of that mindset and just say, this their time. Celebrate with them. So when your time comes, they'll celebrate. You know, so it's funny, man, because my wife be like, what's wrong? I'm like, well, I ain't got nothing to do. Because she would like, on my fan page, she like, I'm going to post something. I said, ain't nobody going on our fan page. I'm like, she's like, Carlos, you got product. Keep posting it. I was like, but I don't want to. She's like, look, you got to keep posting, Carlos. You have shirts, you have DVDs. Ain't nobody going to know about if you don't post. I was like, but man, we ain't got no rehearsals no more. So but you just have to get over that and just be like, man, it's your time. Just keep rolling with it, man. And just, you know, don't give up. You have to keep encouraging yourself and keep surrounding yourself. Because when I see y'all doing stuff, and that's when I said, man, that's good. Keep it moving. But sometimes you do that quiet time, and you sit at home, and you're like, man.
Yeah, I know. I was like literally depressed for like 3 months after my play. I was like depressed. I feel like I was pregnant. I birthed a baby, and then
that's it. You sit there like
baby, like, you know. So I definitely understand. So go ahead and just tell the people where they can find you and what you got coming up next.
Carlos Master. You can find me on all the social medias, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Carlos Master, aka Big Los. Big Los, Biglos. It's Los. I'm working on a couple films right now with Brandon Byers Productions and James Lyons Productions. I have some comedy shows come up, and I'm getting ready to go back home and search some venues for my own play. So I'm trying to take down the road myself, because I really believe it. I wanted to get it out there. So, and just continue. I tell everybody, believe in yourself, man. Keep striving, keep pushing, and don't let nobody hijack your gift or try to tell you can't do it. And you got to guard your gift with everything. If people try to come and use what you have, you got to be very, very mindful and listen to your instinct. And I tell anybody all the time, your instinct will tell you exactly what's right. It's never gonna lead you wrong. Listen to your instinct. It will tell you if the move is right or if the person's straight. Because I've learned so much in this to where you sit there and somebody's like, man, just listen to your instinct, man, and just believe in you. And you just go forward, man.
That's it. Thank you so much for joining me.
I appreciate it.
All right, y'all. So I'm Nakesha Wrights. This was All for the Dream. If you want to be on the show, email me allforthedream3@gmail.com. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share. And until next time, it's All for the Dream. Only on Save the Arts TV.
Save the Arts.
Say the Arts TV. You know what it be. Say the Arts TV. Let's go.